Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sasha, I'm French-Canadian, and I'm an artist that mainly focuses on outdoors. I haven't posted a video in months, and to be direct, it's because the last few months have been really hectic. We had, and I kid you not, plumbing issues, the fridge stopped working, my PC gave up at life, and more recently even my girlfriend broke her pinky finger, so yes, pretty eventful on top of the holidays. But anyways, I'm not here to tell you about my personal life, and as much as I would not mind talking about it, I doubt this is why you're here, and actually I kinda have a big announcement to make. If you follow my Instagram stories and the community tab here on YouTube, you might have come across that I spoke about finding another doll artist page, another person using the Oak Factory as their name. I don't know that person, and no, we haven't contacted each other, but they have a successful Etsy shop, and the last thing that I want is to take any of that away. Also, I've been personally bothered by my channel name for a while now. As you might now know, my name is Sasha, it's not Kay. The name Kay came from an attempt at having a more gender-neutral name for myself when I was questioning my gender identity. And I used to go by Kate then, so yeah, it's not a dead name, so no worries. I thought at first that I would just drop the K from the name, but this brings back to that other artist I told you a minute ago, so yeah, I just decided that I was going to rebrand. Though I will not just be rebranding, I'm also actually expanding. I'll be opening a shop online very soon, and this is where I'll be selling some of my dolls and even other things like prints or maybe bookmarks. This is taking me a lot of time and a lot of work and effort, because I do everything by myself as I do not have the means to hire any help. I really hope that you'll like it. I've worked so hard on my first two prints, illustrations that I'll show you all very soon. I've also worked to find a nice name and try a design and a logo that looked presentable. I'm still posting the details though, so yeah, but I'll show you a little something at the end of this video. In the meantime though, well, I have a doll to show you today. Nothing grand, I'm just joining the increasingly long list of artists doing their own faces on one of the new G3 Monster High dolls. You've voted for Draculaura, so here she is today. I won't do a review of the doll, as I think many artists already did that and said everything that had to be said, but I'll still show you the process while I answer some questions, well, from you folks. We're having a little Q&A, you and I. Though before we start, I have two little random things to add. First, I'm still experimenting with my repaint style, so yes, I'm going places with it today. And second, my hands are very dry, but I'm doing my best to make it as presentable as I can, I promise. So let the question begins. So first, what inspired me to do dolls? Well, I discovered ball-jointed doll first in the late 2000s, and by extension I started seeing custom fashion dolls too. Though I tried to get into it, I was missing some infos I could not find anywhere at the time, so it lived in my brain rent-free ever since. How did I got into the hobby? Well, in 2018 I started seeing more videos about doll repaints online, and after watching a few, those questions that were left unanswered all those years finally got resolved. And from this video I also learned about the community being pretty big on Instagram, so I decided why not try to join in. What is or are my fave doll to customize and why? Well, all Monster High dolls are my favorites. They feel like mini BGDs for me, and the sculpts have drama, they're not too round like the Ever After dolls. And my favorite among those would be Draculaura, Frankie, Goulia and Spectra, and maybe the Catherine Demue cat-like face mold. Draculaura and Frankie especially, I think, are very great for beginners. They're very nice sculpt, they're not too intense to... you can easily customize it, you can easily draw your own thing. Next question, I did not expect it, but I wanted to talk about it for a while, so yeah. How much do I spend on a custom, usually? And actually, it wildly depends, but it's probably way less money than you think. The most expensive tools in my arsenal are actually the sealant and the pastels. I source a lot of my fabrics in thrift stores, I buy old clothes that need new love, and I also go buy and trade with friends from things that they don't need anymore, like clothing, and also tiny scraps of Warbler from cosplayers, and fabrics from seamsters and crafters, anything I can get my hands on. I even steal hair from old wigs, I wash them well first, and yeah, you can do so many things with so little things. And about half of my dolls I don't actually require to buy new material when I start them. Of course this happens, but honestly, every time I go out I look around me, even at the dollar store. I guess I have a knack to use any of what I can get my hands on, because my budget is always really tight. What are my costliest dolls? Well, it's hard to answer because, yeah, I do own a few BGDs, but I have not yet customized them out of being extremely intimidating of doing it, by fear of just ruining the resin. I don't know, I don't think I had the level yet. And I think the costliest ones I have in my collection are an older Doll Zone MSD and another one that I got in convention, I think it was in 2009. Cue pictures on the screen, and yes, I am fairly old. I've graduated high school in 2006. I'm in my 30s. I'm old. Do I plan to make a winter doll? Well, I've been wanting to do one since last year, so I guess I'll have to do her out of season. Maybe we'll get her in March, I don't know yet, but yeah, I have ideas, I just don't know when I'll have the time to make them. Next question, I've got it multiple times, but I'll only answer it here, so what is my advice for people who want to get into dolls? And that would be, don't be scared. Don't be scared about it becoming super expensive, as it does not have to be. I think I'm a good example for that. Look at what you have. Experiment, ask questions. There are many doll artists out there that would love to answer comments on their videos, and that includes me. You can also DM me on Instagram. I will answer you. I'll be really happy to share my knowledge with you. If I can help and make you happy and passionate, I'll gladly do it. What is my favorite part of the customization process? Well, it's doing the face, by far, of course. I think you can all see it by watching any of my videos, even this one. And what is my least favorite part? Well, I hate making hair wefts, because I hate to wait for glue to dry and trying to trim them and fight for them to be all neat and cute and perfect, and I'm not always a patient human being. So yeah, it's a weakness of mine. Why did I decide to make videos of dolls on YouTube? Well, because it has always been kind of a dream of mine to be able to put my art out there and to have it seen, and I was starstruck by watching other people make art videos, so I decided why not try, and so far it seems to be working, so I'll keep doing it. And how did I learn to edit my videos? Well, I did not. I absolutely don't know what I'm doing most of the time. I'm just playing with the software. I saw a promotional ad for that software that I'm using, which is Filmora, and it felt affordable, so I got it, and since that day I've been just trying stuff with it, and I should definitely watch more tutorials, and maybe I'd know what I'm doing a bit more, and I could do a better product for you guys to watch, because yeah, sometimes I think I'm doing a questionable job, and sometimes I think it's okay, so yeah. And how much does YouTube cost? Well, for me it's a lot of time, mainly editing, and just a tiny bit of equipment, but as I said before, probably cost less than you think. That for me, I film everything with my phone, and I have two small disc lights that were like $5 each, clamped on tripod that I had since time immemorial on both sides of my desk, and I just got cool white light bulbs in there. And yeah, I got a smaller cheap phone tripod on Amazon. I used to use a DIY one, and yeah, it works. My background on my desk is just a board covered with sticky sheets that I found at my local dollar store. I'm a firm believer that you can do a lot using unconventional ways. Then somebody asked me a pretty personal question. It is whether I make money. Well, I'm gonna answer that because I don't mind saying it. I make money when I sell a doll, but my YouTube channel is not actually monetized, and it has never been monetized as of yet. Now, next question is, how long does a custom take from start to finish? Well, I'm usually very fast at making art, and I've always been like this. If my day-to-day life and my health permits me, I can do up to 2, sometimes 3 dolls a month, and it goes even faster when I don't have to film, of course. Though in 2022 I've slowed down quite a bit, mainly because I needed more rest. And yes, and I've also been trying to force myself to slow down so I can try to polish the details a little bit more, so yeah. Now, where do I get my ideas? The answer is everywhere, all the time, all at once. I'm always looking around me with curious eyes, so anything can inspire me. Could be a word, a song, a dream, a shape, or even a color. I don't know how else to describe it. How do I develop my ideas? Well, to be honest, I don't. I ADHD, no. I often just jump into a project with minimal planning, or just a rough idea in my head, or a sketch. I'm chaotic, I guess, and I can't really plan anything too carefully because it feels too restrictive, though I need some amount of planning, of course, just to make sure that I do things coherently. Do I plan to do another full-on doll series like the Sailor Moon or Has-Been Hotel Hell of a Bus ones? Well, not at the moment, no. Because long series of fan arts, they sound great, they're amazing, we all love those characters, but it feels extremely restrictive, and to me it becomes frustrating over a long period of time, so I prefer coming up with my own ideas. Doesn't mean that I'm not open to it. I still don't know what I'll do, and if I'll get inspired to do even more Has-Been or Hell of a Bus dolls. Right now, I just can't, so we'll see in the future. Which part of making a doll do you find the most challenging? It's clothing, it's sewing. I started making doll clothes with absolutely no sewing knowledge, and I still haven't taken a class to this day. I just try to do things that somewhat make sense to me, and I guess I learn a lot by watching other people doing doll videos. Also, what did I used to find very challenging, but feel like I've most improved at? And I would say, like, clothing again. I think sometimes it's starting to look decent. I'm starting to have pride in it. I mean, still not enough to, sell clothes or try to make patterns, but it's starting to be decent. How many projects or dolls do I have going on all at once? Well, that depends, but it's never just one. ADHD be damned. It's 2, sometimes 3, and I try to not have more than that because I'm always afraid I'll lose steam and not finish them, but I can't just work on only one. When something's drying in the corner, I have to do something. I have to use my fingers or it drives me crazy. Are there dolls that I've done in the past that I'd wish I could redo with my current techniques? Well, yes, there's a few, and that includes Angel Dust and Alastair that I think could have been so much better even if I worked my butt off on these two. I think that I rushed because I placed a time limit on myself. Stolas is... I'm sorry, I think I botched Stolas. I apologize, but I could have done so much better. And there's also Princess Serenity. I really, really love her. I kept her, actually. I thought about selling her, but didn't. And, well, yeah, she could have been better, definitely. Do I prefer to work with yarn or synthetic hair when rerouting a doll? Well, I got wholly converted to the yarn over the years. It's started as a budget decision because it's obviously way cheaper, but since I started using a better quality yarn, I must say that I'm not as tempted as I was before about buying anything else. Do I wish there were more male dolls available? Well, yes, a lot of them are super stiff, a lot of them are overly muscular, and this is why sometimes I just don't even get one, I just modify a female body to fit my idea of a certain character, and yeah. Does it take some special pencils? Well, yes. Mainly, we use watercolor pencils in the hobby, and the main reason is that they are water-based as opposed to oil-based, like regular colored pencils are. So that makes them less likely to stain or damage the doll you're working on over time. It's also easier to erase, and some people also likes to use them wet because it's basically watercolor paint in a pencil format, or a mix of wet and dry. Though honestly, I would also point out that it's not the pencil type that make it so you can draw on a doll, so it's very important to note difference. It's the sealant that does this job. It's MSC that will make it so your colored pencil will glide on vinyl the same way as it would on paper. Priming is extremely essential, it's basically the magic ingredient. Is it dull to make dolls? Bruh. I love you, friend. The last few questions are a treat. I've got someone who asked me a bit more personal questions, not just about the dolls that I make, so yeah. So, who I am, my artistic journey. Well, I was a child obsessed by art, especially comics and manga growing up, and I was drawing all the time. I got lucky that my parents encouraged it and enrolled me in an high school that had a program focused on art, so I've experimented a lot with things as a teenager. I've never graduated from college, but I've been there, I've been to art school, and I learned a bit more in depth about photography, graphic design, colors and composition, but I've left that world in 2009 or 2008, I'm not sure, so it's been a pretty long time, so yeah, I'm nowhere near professional, but I've had a little bit of experience. What's my favorite? Chocolate, vanilla, matcha, chocolate, without hesitation. Do I prefer gaming or reading books? Well, gaming. I love gaming. I'm always gaming when I'm making art, actually. And it's because it's more engaging. I absolutely love reading and also writing, but I have no attention span anymore, ADHD be damned, and yeah, I've lost the superpower of being able to read those thick books I loved as a teenager. And I'm pretty sure you all can relate with what I just said. Do I collect stuff that aren't related to dolls? Well, yes, artworks. A lot of illustrations from artists that I love, or paintings from people that I admire, especially in conventions or over on the internet with friends on Instagram. I also have a growing collection of anime figurines from the Fate franchise because I'm totally obsessed with Fate. Watercolors or gouache? Well, both. Both is good, both. Alright, that's the end of it. I'm done. I've indulged enough, I think. I hope you like the repaint. It was my first face-up in a while, so yeah, I spent a little bit more time than I am ready to admit just on the paint stage. So yeah, I'm still experimenting with my style, but I really like where it's going, so we'll see how I can polish that up in the future. As for the future of this channel, well, it's nearly here. It's just taking me a bit more time because life's a little intense, and I cannot thank you enough for all the nice messages that I get in comments and in my DMs on various socials, so yes, thank you. It's not because I do YouTube that I'm not just one simple person like everybody else, so yeah, thank you again. Words do have power. So yeah, I'm planning a few things, but I cannot yet make any promises for the next video, but it's definitely already in the works, so it's coming. As for my new image, well, I have a little teaser coming in at the end of this video, so yeah, you'll see that, so yeah, please, make sure you tell me what you think though in the comments. I honestly love reading all your comments on my art, it's definitely one of the best parts for me, so yeah, please let me know. So, please, stay safe, but also, it's with great nervousness that I present to you